This video is part of the Move On When Reading Application Support Series and will focus on entering the application as an LEA-level approver for the purpose of combining all schools into one aggregate plan and submitting to ADE. Once all schools in the LEA's organization have been accepted for aggregation, the final step is for the LEA-Approver to click in the last green box and combine all schools and submit to the ADE. This is the same process for single-site charters or districts and those with numerous schools in their organization. This aggregate plan now includes all school submissions in one. Scroll to the bottom of each section to click the blue Ready button. As you do, each tab at the top will turn green. This action is verifying completion for submission to the Move On When Reading team for final review. You will continue to do so until you get to final requirements. However, stop here as there is additional LEA information to be entered. At any point during this process, an LEA approver may leave comments at the right of any section. This is the only place to communicate with the MOWR team via the Literacy Plan portal. Comments should be entered appropriately for the specific section of the Literacy Plan. Once a comment has been saved, it cannot be edited or deleted. Within the Final Requirements tab, the only piece of information entered as the LEA approver is the budget information. First is the previous school year's total district charter MOWR funding received should the literacy plan have been accepted by the ADE last year. Basic calculations can be found on the SACE APOR 55-1 report and is shown in the K3 reading line item. This information may need to be obtained from your organization's CFO or business manager. However, those personnel should not have access to the literacy plan nor complete this portion of the plan. Actual spending in any of the four categories should total the top amount. Next, enter the estimate of the current school year's total district charter funding. Funding can be spent in one or more categories. If no funding was spent in any one of the categories, leave it blank. To assist with this portion of the LEA Literacy Plan, you can find additional information on the Administrator's webpage within the tab Final Requirements 3 Budget. This will include the contact information for the ADE School Finance, as the MOWR team does not have budget-specific information. Previous and current school year's MOWR allocations are always available to view on the MOWR homepage and accessible here, as well as an infographic for MOWR support on how MOWR funds can be spent. You may now click Final Requirements Ready. All tabs will now have turned green. On the Final Submit tab, towards the bottom, you will see an Edit Contact Information link. To help the MOWR team communicate literacy plan and literacy assessment data information correctly, new in 2022 is the requirement to enter two distinct organization contacts. These should include current LEA primary contacts who can be contacted by the MOWR team. As part of the review process, it is likely that the MOWR team will reach out to these contacts for questions. These are also the two contacts which will be used to send rejection or approval notices and our final rubric. Contact information will be saved, however will not appear on this page, but it is saved and can be edited. If there are any general literacy plan final comments, enter them here in the box. Lastly, enter the direct phone number for the LEA primary contact submitting this literacy plan. You may now click Send to ADE. Upon the alert, Once you submit this form, you will not be able to edit it. Do you want to continue? You may choose yes or no. Once a literacy plan has been submitted to the ADE, the Move On When Reading team will review it in the order in which it was received. With a small team, it can take several weeks to months to review all plans submitted on the October 1st deadline. Therefore, it is advisable to submit the literacy plan and beginning of the year literacy assessment data as soon as possible in August or September. A MOWR team member will review all areas of the literacy plan carefully. We will be in touch if we have any questions or need additional information. At the time of a potential rejection for revisions or approval, we will email all contacts entered in the LEA literacy plan a completed rubric with notes. Thank you for your participation with this Move On When Reading application support series. We hope it has served as a beneficial guide to the entire literacy plan submission process. Continue watching for additional guidance on the literacy assessment data submission, which is due to the ADE by October 1st, February 1st, and June 1st each year. As always, please contact Move On When Reading with any further questions.